Okay, hello everybody. You're back again. Another new week of football.
Already started. We're a bit late.
Yeah, this is Saturday morning here, so we've already had the Chelsea Fulham game, which, spoiler alert, was 0-0.
I thought it was 0-0.
Yep, that too.
Oh, right.
Okay, so we just wanted, before we move on, is maybe have a quick comment about what we think about Chelsea. Obviously, they've been the main, the most active team during the transfer window.
Yes.
What do you think? What's your take on it?
Look, we've talked about this, the owner, and he's buying loads of players. Feel for the academy guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what chance are they going to get really to go into with the Chelsea team?
Sure.
It's funny, the team, the time they did their best, nearly Chelsea, and fans would have been at their happiest, was when Lampard, when they had a transfer freeze,
Yes.
and they couldn't buy anyone.
Yeah.
And Lampard actually did well, and they relied on their academy boys.
Tammy Abraham, Hudson-Odoi, all those players kind of came out.
And they got their chance because they had no other choice, and they did well.
Yeah. They brought in this guy Fernandes. Again, I know you've got your pet peeve: never buy someone after a World Cup, just off a World Cup performance. I mean, who would ever heard of him before the World Cup?
He was signed for 10 million by Benfica. Benfica are laughing.
Yeah.
Exactly. What a great way to go and start the year for him.
I also feel sorry for Mudryk. I have my own theory on this as well too. He was tipped for a long time to go to Arsenal. He was kind of like trying to force it through himself, on his Instagram with all the comments he was making. It was clear he wanted to come to Arsenal, but then Chelsea came in with the money. And I think a big thing was they offered 20 million that they would give to Ukrainian charity. So if you're Mudryk, and there's a war, and then suddenly you have a choice between picking the team that you want against going against Chelsea, maybe, but there's 20 million they're going to give for the war cause for your compatriots.
Yeah, you'll have to.
It was a little bit of blackmail there, and I think that maybe had a part. Of course, obviously he's happy with his huge salary.
Yeah.
But footballing wise, he was taken off at halftime in the game against Fulham.
Yeah, look, these guys are going to take time, a lot of time to get to gel, and I feel sorry for Potter as well.
Yeah, I think he won't last long. I just think he's not the type that Bowley will understand.
No,
they're like chalk and cheese.
I don't think they're going to get in the top four, so that's going to be a big strain on them with all the money they've spent.
Yeah,
it's not like Bowley is rolling in the money and it doesn't matter.
And the thing as well, to avoid the financial fair play, they've bought all these players on long Murdrick's on an 8-year contract. Yeah. I mean, you could have a stage down the line where of all of these players on your books and you can't get rid of them.
You can't, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, that's our bit on them. But anyway, well done Fulham for the draw.
Yeah, they stuck it out. In fairness to them, they've been probably the most impressive team. One of the most impressive teams.
Oh yeah, them and obviously Brighton
as well. Yeah,
have been hugely impressive.
Okay, the early game today I think is Everton Arsenal, right? Everton. So maybe we're hoping for a new manager bounce with Sean Dyche coming in.
Well, you'll be hoping for it. There will be definitely a strengthening, toughening up of the back. You know where Dyche is going to start his stuff. It's going to be from the back.
And Everton have got some good defenders there.
They do.
So they can build from that. So I could see them taking, sitting back and Arsenal catching Arsenal on the break.
Trying that. I think that this game is too early for them in terms of that Dyche needs more time.
Yeah.
But it won't be a stroll in the park for Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win because of the form they're in and the players and the options they have now. It's great to see that Nketiah, is it?
Martinelli, you mean?
No, the striker.
Nketiah
even, yeah. Really impressed with him.
Yeah, he's scoring goals, which Gabriel Jesus wasn't able to do before he got injured.
So it's adding another dimension to their game.
Definitely.
And I see them winning maybe 2-0.
Yeah, I do think as well that Arsenal are much more urgent now, and they'll if Everton stay back, they will keep passing the balls, keep probing. And over 90 minutes, I'm hoping that they will make the breakthrough and score the goals. I'm thinking 2-0 as well. Dyche has a good record against Arsenal in the last 5 with Burnley. He lost 1, won 1, drew 3. So he's been kind of a frustrated Arsenal in the past. But this is a different Arsenal team, right?
And it's a different...
One thing, Jorginho, a player I hated watching. He's like, excuse me, he's a rat on the pitch. He's the
Yeah.
most annoying player. And now he's with Arsenal, so I mean.
So you suddenly love him.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not. It wasn't as.
I think
exciting that
again,
enjoyed
it's,
seeing.
it might have been a little bit of panic.
Sure.
We want to stay at the top, and we might need a few extra guys.
Of course, because El Nenny's injured. El Nenny, there's no cover for Partey and Xhaka. We needed someone. Okay, so an Arsenal win, we're saying. Then we have Villa at home to Leicester. Leicester, who were like, if you were to go by after the World Cup, they would be bottom of the table or thereabouts.
Villa have done very well since Emery has come in, and I predict it to continue with this game. Simple
He's a proper coach. He's a proper coach.
Proper coach getting the best out of his players.
Yeah.
And they have some quality players too on their books. Watkins playing well.
Some young players there, yeah.
Good to see lads getting back on form as well.
Yeah. So that comes down to being able to the manager understanding what they need and allowing them to do that.
And giving clear instruction that they can follow and understand. We know exactly what you want us to do and how we're to do it on the field. Yeah.
So Leicester, before the World Cup, they seemed to have turned the corner. They were getting clean sheets. They were winning. But then again, after the break, it's just been terrible, right?
What do you make of Maddison?
A sunshine player, I guess.
I don't.
He would be perfect for Tottenham. He's like someone Tottenham would buy now. Looks good on the outside, but not a lot of quality or.
He doesn't really bring himself forward and step up to the plate.
Exactly.
Especially when
he's
things are tough.
He's definitely got talent. He's a naturally talented player, but naturally, if he was to push himself,
he's not aggressive.
More,
he's not aggressive enough, and as you say, he doesn't impose himself in games enough.
Okay, so we're going to go for a Villa win on that one. All right. That leads us to Brentford, another informed team, at home to Southampton.
Well, you take this one first.
Brentford, just some stats, unbeaten in 8 since the World Cup. Highest shot conversion, so that's probably Tony as well too, he's been very clinical.
Yeah.
So whatever chances they get, they're taking them. And Southampton on the other side, they've out of the League Cup. They're still kind of very near the relegation zone. One thing in their favour is they get 60% of their points have come away from home, so they prefer being away from home. But I just think Brentford will have too much for them. Brentford are very good at high turnovers.
Yep, they press high.
And Southampton are the worst for conceding. So that's something maybe Brentford will be looking to target. I just think Brentford, with the momentum they're on now at home, I think they're too much. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Brentford on this one.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at 0, even though Brentford don't get many clean sheets. But I don't think Southampton will get anything from here.
Okay.
I'm going for a comfortable Brentford victory.
Okay, all right. Then Brighton, the conquerors of Liverpool twice in the last month, are at home to Bournemouth. So do we expect the Brighton machine to keep rolling over another, probably with Leicester, one of the poorest performing teams at the moment in form-wise, Bournemouth?
Yeah, I can't see any reason why Brighton would let it go. They held on to Caicedo.
Yeah. How will he react? Will he sulk?
He needs to not. I know his agent has come out whinging about it, but you get on with it.
Yeah, I can understand Brighton as well too. They're pushing for a top 6 position.
They've sold enough lads, lost enough lads.
Trossard has gone out. They've got Cucurella. There's a few others as well. Yep. They didn't need to sell this guy, So, yeah, I think that he has to be professional about it.
He's really professional.
And that thing he made on Instagram was not appropriate, I think, saying he wanted to leave. Obviously, he probably will leave in the summer, but, Brighton will say, okay, that'll give them time to find a replacement, get the money from the higher
and finish
position.
this season on the high.
Yeah. What do you make of Evan Ferguson, Irish lad, who's doing really well for Brighton up front, a new striker, 18-year-old?
Yeah, it's good to see him coming through the ranks. But what really caught my eye against Liverpool is, of course, that Japanese lad.
Mitoma. Yeah, I have him down here as well, yeah. He's very direct. Very direct
and very deceptively strong, but beautiful control and beautiful. In the 91st minute, have that kind of composure in a box.
Yeah,
beautiful goal.
Yeah, he's got the most dribbles in the penalty box at the moment. So like he's very direct. He'll get into the box. Player like that, you see, they're so afraid to touch him.
Yep.
You know, and it's going to create problems. So I think we cannot see anything else but a Brighton win here.
Yeah,
right?
I think Brighton, without a doubt.
Yeah, only City and Arsenal have scored more goals than Brighton at the moment. So yeah, we're going to go for a Brighton win. Then United, who will be bouncing after getting into the
final,
League Cup final. It'll be an interesting game actually, that one, Newcastle and United, for different reasons.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, United at home to Palace. Now, this is actually a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, they had that reverse fixture, right, where Palace equalised in the last minute with that stunning free kick. So United will be out looking for revenge on this one. What's your take?
Oh, well, I would say that at home and with the form they're in, the way they're playing, there's a confidence in them.
Yeah, there will be about Eriksen though. He's going
to be out for a long time, actually. They're going to, and it's going to be a big loss. They didn't have Casemiro will be in though, obviously, and
against Arsenal, you see, they provide a good balance. Casemiro with the defensive side of things in midfield, Eriksen with the attacking. So the two of them together work very well in tangent, and without one without the other. So against Arsenal, they missed the defensive part of it. In this one, they'll miss the link-up play. You know.
I do. I think you're going to see Bruno Fernandes probably dropping a bit deeper to take that kind of role.
Yeah.
I saw a little cameo of Jadon Sancho, so he's a forgotten player, but he has skills, and he showed it in a brief cameo against Forest.
Yeah, scored it.
Now he didn't, but he did a lot of attacking.
Okay.
I think maybe he did score. I can't remember.
I didn't check that.
So I think with the options they have in Old Trafford, the lift is there, the skip is in their feet again.
That's a new one. Write that one down.
Right, and I think United will continue with their good run.
Yeah.
Rashford to score again.
Yeah, Palace seem to be like they're stuck in mid-table. They're just happy to be mid-table. They know that they're saying not going to get relegated. They don't think they're going to get top 6. So they're just kind of like motoring along, just doing like
just doing enough to
when if the things go down, they say, okay, let's get a win. So they could be like a win-lose kind of one. But going to Old Trafford, I don't see them having that. I think United will beat them on this one. Yeah. I think it's not too much for them. But maybe 2-1. I think it won't be.
It'll be it won't be a
walk in the park.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So then Wolves at home to Liverpool.
The team they can't score against the team they can't defend. What do you think?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, Liverpool are in sort of a mini crisis at the moment. Crisis of identity. They don't know who they are, what way they should play, who's doing what. It just seems to be, it's a very difficult situation as a manager, because where do you start? It seems to be like a mentality thing. Very much confidence, dynamics amongst the players. Wolves, on the other hand, are a team who seem to have kind of got it together. They seem to know under their coach who's doing what, and they seem to be playing for each other. So Wolves at home, I think it won't be easy for Liverpool based on where they're coming from. So I'm going to go for a draw on this one. So that's my take on it. A draw, I think, on this one.
Can't argue with any of that. Confidence is such an abstract thing, and yet it's so important, isn't it, in any team sport or in any sport, full stop. And Liverpool have lost it. And you can see it. They're just one mistake. They're like walking on eggshells when they're around, because they've no confidence in their passing. They want to play the way they've always played, but the pass is not done with confidence.
That's it, you see. And everyone if someone makes a mistake,
and then they're looking at each other and they're blaming. The body language is poor.
And why don't you do it? Why should I do it? Kind of thing. So there seems to be like Salah isn't helping them.
No.
I mean,
Salah's coasting. He's been happy with the player he was.
Shadow of the player,
But you look at it and you say like Liverpool could have had 3 players sent off. Definitely one was a nailed on red card, and that's a sign of frustration.
But in this case, where it's so hard for a manager to try to fix things, it might be that as good a coach as he is, maybe he'll have to. Maybe it's time for a change. Someone come in with a new, fresh idea, clean slate. try to reinvent again?
I hope not, because first of all, I think Klopp is one of the top
Definitely.
3 managers in the world.
Yeah.
You know, when you see someone like Solskjaer going, you knew there's not many clubs who are going to go for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. No offense to Man United fans. And the same with Steven Gerrard. He's gone and Lampard's gone. You can't see people going for him.
No.
If Klopp goes, you can see everyone going for him. Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, they'll all want him. The German national team, but Bayern Munich.
But there's no point in hanging on to him.
That is true too.
Yeah.
If he can, but I'd give him this season.
Oh, sure.
And have that talk at the end of the year.
End of the season, yeah. Okay. Another.
I think a draw or a Wolves victory. I can't see I can't see us not conceding a goal, and we're struggling to score 0-0. I'm going to go for a 0-0.
Okay, all right. Newcastle, another team who are finding it hard to score. Defense is excellent at home to West Ham.
Yes, I think that this is one that Newcastle do need to win. You know, they've had a couple of draws and
3 of their last 4 games have been 0-0.
You know, and they want, if they want to really believe they can hold on to this top 4, they need to start just getting the W's onto that table. This is a good opportunity, even though, I mean, West Ham got the victory against Everton in that relegation battle, but the problems are there. They were just 2 poor teams, and one was not as poor as the other.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle will have too much for West Ham. So I think 2-0.
Okay. All right. West Ham they beat Everton, all right, but they're winless in their last 8 away. So there's problems in West Ham as well too with David Moyes and other coaches under pressure. Newcastle's defense is excellent. 12 clean sheets. Clean sheet in the last 6 games. You know, so their defense is really good. The problem is scoring the goals. But I think against West Ham, I can see them maybe getting a 1-0. I don't think West Ham have the firepower to score against them. An interesting stat: only De Bruyne has created more chances than Trippier. So Trippier is like a really important part. Part of that team. And they've got back that Swedish guy Isak. So let's see how they go. But I think 1-0 at home to West Ham. Newcastle. Okay, Forest, who have the at home to Leeds. Obviously, the bubble, all the excitement they had about getting back to Wembley. You know, they've been burst now by losing to United in the League Cup semi-final. They have kind of had a mini bounce back.
They have had a bounce back. Sure, they're not in the relegation zone,
Yeah.
I think, at the moment.
Yeah, they're unbeaten in their last 6 at home. Problem is shots. They have the fewest shots on target, I think, in the Premier League against a Leeds team who can blow very much hot and cold, right? Although it's a surprising stat, Leeds have the lowest away points in the league, 5. Their only win was against Liverpool in October. Okay, so Forest, I'm going to go for because Newcastle or Leeds do go for it, and Forest as well at home. Usually, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw on this one, exciting draw.
I'm going to go for a Forest victory, and I'll tell you, I think that Rodrigo is out injured
for Leeds.
For Leeds,
okay.
And I think that obviously, so that's going to dull their attacking potency a bit. And I just think at home they've said, okay, we League Cup, we've the disappointment of that. Let's forget about it. We're full on for Premier League survival now, and it starts with winning your home games against teams that are around the same areas.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah, because the Leeds are not out of the woods yet.
No, Leeds are not out of the woods by any means.
Okay. The last game then, Spurs at home to Man City. City beat them 4-2 right recently when those Spurs were 2 goals up.
Yeah. Well, Spurs, Conte is in hospital, and let me extend get well soon. Hope the gallbladder stays galling.
Hope it stays gone.
Hope it stays gone, indeed.
Yeah.
And, got to remember, it's not all about football.
Yeah, it gives some perspective.
But also, Spurs are Spurs, which is great to see.
They've lost 4 of their 5 home games, conceding over 2 goals in each game.
Yeah, I have a feeling City now are relishing this little battle that Arsenal are putting up to them. You know, the issues they had. We'll come to. I'll ask you about Cancelo shortly, but I think City, with the options they have and the way they're playing versus Spurs with that defence, we've talked so many times about their defence and their goalkeeper. I see Spurs scoring, but I see City scoring more. 3-1, 4-1.
Yeah, I've done as well. 3-1 to City to win as well. Spurs just can't stop scoring or conceding. And Haaland against Eric Dyer.
He'll love it.
You know, it'll be like
it's
his
Christmas.
birthday. Yeah, so yeah. I think
What do you make of the Cancelo thing?
Obviously, something happened, and without knowing exactly what it was, then Guardiola decided that there was no way back for him. It seems a little bit happened very quickly. No, usually like you let things kind of calm down for a little bit first. See how the player reacts. You know, if they show remorse, bench him maybe for a couple of games,
which he did.
Yeah, and then maybe let him see if he shows any remorse or
I think maybe that's why he didn't, and he felt he just shouldn't have been benched.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
it's a big loss.
Does he think that if my mate Arteta can do it against Aubameyang, I should do it as well for Cancelo? I don't know.
Maybe.
He's losing one of the best attacking defenders in Europe.
Absolutely. You know, he and that's Cancelo is a huge asset.
Yeah, and I can't understand actually why he got looking at now why he sold the Ukrainian guy to Arsenal. What's his name? Zinchenko. Yeah. I mean, I can understand Gabriel going because he bought in Alvarez and he bought in Haaland.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why because Zinchenko is a fantastic leader as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's really pushing at Arsenal team in midfield, and he's become like a general in there. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Guardiola. Maybe is he kind of losing the heart for City a little bit?
I don't know. I don't think so.
General, he's always strikes me as a guy who kind of said that football was never really the be all and end all for him. You know, it's just a job.
Yeah.
You know, and if he quits, he'll go off and do something else very easily.
I can see that happening.
So
he's probably watching Gareth Bale playing a bit of golf down and going, fancy a bit of that.
Yeah, and you could see as well if they don't win the Champions League in this year or next year, you know, maybe they'll.
I think his hunger could be gone down.
Could be gone a little bit
I could imagine that they'll be at this meeting going, what do you think of this guy Pep? And he's like, oh, I don't really care anymore. You want to buy him.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's been through that so many times.
He's been through so many times. He's like, for 200 million, I don't care.
He's won the league. So I think maybe the Champions League
would just see it off. Yeah.
Okay, but we still think City to win comfortably. Okay, that's it, guys.
Lovely, guys.
Enjoy the football, and we'll see you all very soon.
We'll be on time the next time.
Okay, all the best.
Bye-bye.